The atmosphere of this present epoch vibrates with a density that only the spiritually attuned can decipher, a resonance that signals the narrowing of the aperture between the temporal and the eternal. You stand now at the precipice of a monumental transition where the echoes of the ancient heavens collide with the frantic whispers of a decaying world. And it is here, in this narrow corridor of time, that the sovereign summoning reaches its most piercing frequency. This is the final clarion call, a summons not of the flesh, but of the primordial spirit, demanding that you anchor your eternal mandate with an unwavering resolve before the shimmering veil between dimensions draws shut with the finality of an iron gate. The air itself feels thick with the gravity of impending decision, a metaphysical pressure that seeks to crystallize your purpose into an indestructible diamond of intent. You are not merely a passenger in this unfolding drama, but a strategic architect of the divine design, tasked with carrying the blueprint of a celestial kingdom within the fragile vessel of your humanity. The mandate you carry is an ancient script, written in the ink of stars and the blood of sacrifices, long forgotten by the masses. Yet it burns within your marrow with the heat of 1,000 suns. This threshold is the place where the casual seeker is separated from the consecrated warrior, where the comfort of the middle ground dissolves into the sharp reality of a binary choice between total surrender to the divine light or the slow evaporation into the shadows of the mundane. As the veil begins its slow and majestic descent, the protection afforded to the chosen ones manifests not in the absence of conflict, but in the presence of an impenetrable serenity that defies the logic of the external storm. You are being cloaked in an invisible mantle of preservation, a spiritual field of force that diverts the arrows of chaos and the venom of the adversarial spirits that now roam the earthly plane with increasing desperation. This protection is not a static shield, but a dynamic, living grace that breathes with you, responding to the rhythm of your heartbeat and the purity of your devotion. It is a mercy that operates in the silent spaces of your life, working through the ordinary mechanics of your day to ensure that your path remains clear of the snares laid for the unwary. When you walk through the crowded marketplaces of the world, there is an unseen hand that guides your steps, a celestial sentinel that whispers warnings in the quiet of your mind and arranges the circumstances of your reality to reflect the favor of the Most High. You find that your needs are met with a precision that borders on the miraculous, yet it is delivered through the humble channels of daily bread and timely encounters, a testament to the fact that the sovereign power of the cosmos is intimately concerned with the smallest details of your existence. The mercy of this hour is a profound and terrifying beauty, a cleansing fire that strips away the superficial layers of your ego to reveal the incandescent core of your true identity. It is a mercy that refuses to let you remain in the mediocrity of your former self, pushing you toward the zenith of your potential with a persistence that can feel like a crushing weight until you realize it is the weight of glory. This mercy is seen in the way your past failures are being recalibrated into foundations of wisdom, how the scars of your previous battles are being transformed into conduits for healing power that you will soon pour out upon the weary. Every tear you have shed in the secret chambers of your solitude has been collected and refined into a potent elixir of spiritual authority, for the divine does not waste a single drop of the suffering endured by those who are called by his name. The daily blessings you experience, the warmth of the morning sun upon your face, the cooling draught of water that revives your spirit, the sudden and unexplainable joy that bubbles up from the depths of your being, are not mere coincidences, but are the intentional signals of a covenant that cannot be broken. These are the anchors of your sanity in an age of madness, the tangible proofs that you are remembered, loved, and preserved for a destiny that transcends the limitations of this fading reality. Strategically, you are being instructed in the art of the holy silence, a discipline of the spirit that allows you to move through the world as a phantom of light, seen but not understood, heard, but not decoded by the profane. This silence is your greatest weapon, for it creates a vacuum into which the divine wisdom can flow without the interference of human noise. While the world screams for attention and the masses drown in a sea of trivial information, you are called to the deep stillness where the secrets of the kingdom are whispered. You are learning to anchor your mandate, not through the clamor of outward performance, but through the internal solidification of your will with the divine will. This anchoring is a process of metaphysical crystallization, where your thoughts, emotions, and actions are brought into such perfect alignment with the eternal frequency that you become a living pillar of truth, a stationary point in a turning world. The decision you make at this threshold is to refuse the bait of the spectacular and instead embrace the power of the hidden life, for it is in the hiddenness that your true strength is nurtured and your mandate is secured against the thieves of destiny. The sovereign summoning is a call to a higher state of consciousness, an awakening to the fact that you are an embassy of a different world stationed in a foreign land. Your mandate is to represent the values, the power, and the love of that higher realm with every breath you take, even when the environment around you is hostile to your very nature. You are being asked to anchor this mandate by making the ultimate decision to die to the illusions of the self and to live entirely for the purposes of the Eternal One. This is the threshold of decision where you must leave behind the baggage of your former identity, the labels, the traumas, the pride, and the fears that have bound you to the earth, and step into the vacuum of faith where only the word of the Creator sustains you. The closing of the veil is a mercy to the chosen, for it seals you into the sanctuary of the divine presence, shielding you from the final convulsions of a world that has rejected its own light. Within this sanctuary, your mandate is not just a duty, but a profound blessing, a source of inexhaustible energy and purpose that will carry you through the transitions to come. As you stand in this sacred space of decision, feel the weight of the eternal crown that rests just above your brow, a crown not of gold, but of light and responsibility. The blessings of the everyday are the training grounds for the majesty of the forever, and every act of kindness, every moment of patience, every prayer uttered in the sincerity of the heart is a thread being woven into your garment of glory. The protection you enjoy is a sign of your value in the eyes of the host of heaven, a declaration that you are essential to the completion of the cosmic plan. Do not fear the closing of the veil or the darkening of the world, for your light is of a different origin, one that the darkness can never comprehend or extinguish. Anchor yourself now in the immutable truth of your calling, for the threshold is narrow, the time is short, and the sovereign summons is the only sound that truly matters in the end of all things. Your mandate is your life, your shield, and your eternal reward. And as you anchor it within the depths of your soul, you become the very bridge through which the mercy and power of the divine will flow into the new era that awaits on the other side of the silence. The intricacies of this divine anchoring involve a profound recalibration of your temporal desires, shifting the focus of your inner gaze from the transient allurements of the physical realm to the enduring architecture of the spirit. It is an alchemical process where the dross of worldly ambition is burned away by the intensity of the prophetic fire, leaving behind the pure gold of a consecrated life. You are being summoned to recognize that every encounter you have, every word you speak, and every silent thought you harbor is a brick in the temple of your eternal legacy. The protection that surrounds you is woven from the very fabric of your obedience and trust. It is a celestial tapestry that becomes denser and more resilient as you align yourself more perfectly with the sovereign commands. This is the hour where the ordinary becomes the extraordinary, where the simple act of breathing becomes a rhythmic prayer of alignment with the heart of the cosmos. The blessings you receive in the quietude of your home, the safety of your travels, and the provision for your household are the physical manifestations of a spiritual reality that is governed by the laws of a kingdom that knows no lack and no defeat. In the profound silence of this threshold, you are also being taught to perceive the subtle movements of the veil, to understand the shifting patterns of the spiritual winds that precede the final closing. This discernment is a gift of the sovereign summoning, a prophetic sight that allows you to see the hidden hand of providence in the midst of global upheaval. While others see only chaos and the collapse of systems, you see the dismantling of the old to make way for the manifestation of the eternal. You are being prepared to stand as a beacon of hope and a source of unshakable stability when the foundations of the world begin to tremble. Your mandate is to be a reservoir of peace, a sanctuary for the lost, and a living testament to the mercy that endures forever. This requires an anchoring that goes beyond intellectual understanding, reaching into the very core of your being, where the Spirit of the living God dwells in unapproachable light. You are being called to a depth of intimacy with the divine that few have ever dared to explore, a communion that transforms you into a mirror of the celestial glory. The daily mercy you witness is a reminder that the final clarion call is not one of condemnation, but of ultimate invitation. It is the Father's heart yearning for his children to return to their rightful place of authority and inheritance. Every moment you spend in the awareness of this call is a moment where you are being fortified against the deceptions of the age. The protection over your mind is particularly vital, as the battlefield of the end times is located within the realm of thought and perception. By anchoring your mandate, you are securing your mental and emotional faculties in the truth of the Word, creating a fortress of sanity that cannot be breached by the waves of confusion and fear that are sweeping across the earth. The daily blessings, then, are like the manna provided in the wilderness, a sustaining grace that keeps you focused on the destination rather than the difficulty of the journey. They are the whispers of the beloved, reminding you that you are never alone and that the resources of heaven are fully committed to your success. As the threshold of decision looms larger, the urgency of the sovereign summoning becomes a physical sensation, a quickening of the spirit that calls you to cast off everything that hinders your ascent. You are being stripped of the non-essential so that you may carry the essential with greater ease. This stripping is itself a blessing, a merciful removal of the weights that would drag you down when the veil finally closes and the transition is complete. Embrace the process with a heart full of gratitude, knowing that every loss in the physical realm is a thousandfold gain in the spiritual. The mandate you anchor today is the ship that will carry you through the storm and into the harbor of the eternal morning. It is the final word in your story, the ultimate declaration of who you are and whose you are. Stand firm, O chosen one, for the veil is thinning, the call is sounding, and your eternal destiny is within your grasp. Let the anchoring be deep, let the resolve be absolute, and let your life be a radiant reflection of the sovereign light that beckons you home. In this final hour, your silence will speak volumes, your peace will shatter the darkness, and your faithfulness will be the key that unlocks the mysteries of the kingdom for all eternity. The decision is yours, the summoning is now, and the grace to fulfill your mandate is being poured out in measureless abundance upon your soul at this very moment. Wait no longer, for the threshold is here, and the sovereign King is calling you by name. The atmosphere of the current epoch vibrates with a frequency that only the marrow of the elect can truly decipher, for we have entered the season of the great quickening, where the density of the material realm begins to fray at its very edges. You stand at the precipice of a monumental shift, not merely as observers, but as the architects of a new internal geography, designed long before the foundations of the stars were laid. This is the unfolding of the primordial blueprint, a sacred geometric map, etched into the very fabric of your spirit, now pulsing with an urgency that demands your absolute presence. The veil of illusion which has long draped itself over the eyes of humanity is no longer a solid wall, but a thinning mist, susceptible to the radiant light of a consciousness that has decided to wake up. This shattering of the illusion does not come with the thunder of drums or the clashing of steel, but through the terrifyingly beautiful silence of a soul that has recognized its own origin. You are being called to anchor your eternal mandate with a firmness that defies the chaotic currents of the world, because the window of transition is narrowing and the portal of destiny is preparing to seal its current phase. Within this divine architecture, the blueprint reveals itself as a series of resonant truths that contradict every lie the shadow has ever whispered into your ear. While the world demands your exhaustion as a sign of worth, the blueprint whispers of a sovereign rest that generates more power than any frantic activity. This is the first layer of the shattering, where you realize that the frantic pace of the collective is a mechanism of distraction designed to keep you from hearing the heartbeat of the divine within your own chest. To shatter the veil is to look at the sky and see not just the atmosphere, but the living intelligence that sustains every breath you take. It is to recognize that the mundane is a mask for the miraculous, and that your everyday existence is a battlefield where the weapons are not iron, but intention and prayer. Every moment you spend in quiet contemplation is an act of rebellion against the cacophony of the void. You are reclaiming the territory of your mind from the occupiers of fear and scarcity, and in doing so you are making room for the mercy that flows like a subterranean river beneath the parched soil of modern life. Consider the profound protection that has been woven into your journey, even when you felt most abandoned, for the hand of the infinite is most active in the spaces of your perceived weakness. There have been countless instances where a tragedy was averted by a sudden change in your mood, or a delay that felt like an annoyance, but was in fact a divine detour. This is the mercy of the everyday, the quiet sentinel that guards your path from the arrows that fly by day and the pestilence that walks in darkness. You are shielded by a frequency that the darkness cannot penetrate, because you have begun to vibrate at the level of gratitude. This gratitude is not a shallow emotion, but a foundational state of being that recognizes the blessing in the simple cup of water and the miraculous nature of the blood pumping through your veins without your conscious effort. The blueprint demands that you acknowledge these small mercies as the primary evidence of your chosen status, for he who is faithful in the observation of the small will be entrusted with the management of the cosmic. The shattering of the illusion requires you to relinquish the false identities you have built to survive the wilderness of the world. You are not your wounds, you are not your failures, and you are certainly not the labels that society has attempted to pin upon your spirit like dead butterflies in a glass case. The mandate you carry is ancient, and it demands a purity of purpose that can only be found by walking through the fire of self-reflection. As the veil thins, you will find that the people and situations that once triggered your deepest anxieties no longer have a grip on your heart, because you have seen behind the curtain. You see the brokenness in those who seek to oppress, and you meet it with a fierce compassion that protects your peace while refusing to engage in the cycle of trauma. This is the strategy of the silent warrior, who knows that the greatest victories are won in the unseen realms before a single word is spoken in the physical. Your mandate is to be a living bridge between the ephemeral and the eternal, anchoring the light of the higher realms into the very soil of the earth. This anchoring is done through the consistency of your character and the unwavering commitment to your spiritual practice, even when the world seems to be falling into a deep slumber of the soul. You are the remnant that keeps the flame of truth burning in the darkness, and your very presence acts as a calibration point for the lost. Yet you must move with a holy stealth, not seeking the applause of the crowd, but the approval of the silence. The blessings that are being poured out upon you now are not meant to be hoarded, but to be used as fuel for the final push toward the closure of the veil. These are the blessings of sudden clarity, of unexplainable peace in the midst of the storm, and of resources that appear exactly when the need arises. As you navigate the complexities of this unveiling, you must remain vigilant against the subtle lure of the ego, which seeks to turn your spiritual awakening into a badge of superiority. The true blueprint is one of humility and service, where the greater the revelation, the deeper the commitment to the well-being of the whole. Shattering the veil is an act of stripping away, not adding on. It is the removal of the layers of dust that have settled on the diamond of your soul. When the illusion breaks, you will realize that you have never been separate from the source of all life, and that the protection you sought was always within you. The mercy of the divine is such that it allows the veil to remain just long enough for you to develop the strength necessary to withstand the full brilliance of the truth. You are being tempered like steel in the forge of experience, and every trial has been a calculated measure to ensure that your anchor holds when the great winds of change blow. Observe the everyday blessings that have become so commonplace you might have ceased to name them. The safety of your dwelling, the nourishment on your table, the unexpected kindness of a stranger, and the silent guidance of your intuition are all facets of the eternal mandate. They are the breadcrumbs of providence, leading you through the labyrinth of the matrix. Do not despise the day of small things, for in the economy of the spirit, there is no such thing as a small miracle. Every breath is a decree of life, and every heartbeat is a drumbeat of the divine will. By anchoring yourself in this awareness, you become unshakable. You become a pillar of light in a world that is increasingly losing its way. The shattering of the veil is a personal event that precedes the collective shift, and you are among the first to see the cracks in the facade. This final clarion call is an invitation to settle all internal debts and to release all lingering resentments, for you cannot pass through the narrow gate with the heavy baggage of the past. The blueprint requires a lightness of spirit and a transparency of heart. Mercy is the solvent that dissolves the chains of the old world, and you must apply it liberally to yourself and others. As the veil closes, you will find that your perception has been permanently altered. You will no longer see through a glass darkly, but face to face with the reality of your own divinity. The strategy of silence will be your greatest asset as you observe the crumbling of the old structures without fear, knowing that you are held in the palm of a hand that knows the end from the beginning. Protect your destiny with a holy jealousy, refusing to allow the trivialities of the mundane to steal your focus from the eternal. The blueprint is being activated within your DNA, and as it does, you will find that your needs are met in ways that defy logic. This is the supernatural becoming natural for the chosen ones. You are entering a phase of existence where the boundaries between prayer and manifestation are becoming increasingly thin. Therefore, watch your thoughts with the diligence of a gardener, for you are planting the seeds of the world to come. The mercy that has brought you this far will not fail you in the final hour, and the blessings that have sustained you in the hidden places will now be made manifest in the sight of all. Anchor your soul in the truth that you are a sovereign being of light, regardless of the shadows that dance upon the walls of the cave. The veil is shattering because its purpose is complete, and you are the evidence of that completion. Walk with the dignity of your celestial heritage and the quiet confidence of one who knows the outcome of the battle. The silence you keep is not a sign of weakness, but a reservoir of power, and the strategy you employ is one of divine alignment. Every step you take on this earth is now a declaration of the kingdom of light, and every action you perform from a place of love is a hammer blow against the illusion. The portal remains open for a little while longer for you to finalize the alignment of your earthly life with your eternal mandate. Do not delay in this work, for the time of the great transition is at hand, and the rewards of the faithful are beyond the capacity of human language to describe. Receive the mercy that is new every morning, and walk in the protection that has been your constant companion through the ages, for you are the chosen messengers of the final clarion call, and your light shall never be extinguished. The unveiling of the blueprint is the revelation that you were never a victim of circumstance, but a participant in a divine drama of the highest order. Every interaction you have had with the material world was a lesson in the mastery of energy and the refinement of the soul. As the illusion shatters, You will recognize the profound logic behind every sorrow and the hidden grace within every delay. This is the peace that passes, understanding the realization that the universe has always been conspiring for your highest good, even when it seemed most indifferent. The protection you enjoy is a byproduct of your alignment with this cosmic truth, and the mercy you receive is the oil that keeps your lamp burning through the long night of the soul. You're now being invited to step into the fullness of your power, no longer seeking permission from a world that never understood your value. The mandate is yours. The path is clear, and the veil is falling away to reveal the glory that has been yours since the beginning of time. In these final moments before the closing of the current cycle, let your heart be a sanctuary of stillness. Do not be moved by the tremors of the world or the frantic cries of those who refuse to see. Your task is to stay anchored in the frequency of the blueprint and to embody the shattered veil through a life of radical authenticity and unwavering faith. The blessings of the everyday are your strength, and the protection of the divine is your shield. You have been prepared for this moment through lifetimes of searching, and now the search is over. You have arrived at the threshold of the new reality, and the final clarion call is the sound of your own soul recognizing its home. Be bold in your silence, be fierce in your mercy, and be absolute in your anchoring, for you are the ones the world has been waiting for, and your time has finally come. The strategy of the divine is often cloaked in the ordinary, making it invisible to the arrogant and the distracted. While the powers of this world focus on grand gestures and loud declarations, the blueprint operates through the subtle shifting of heartbeats and the quiet alignment of souls. You are part of this hidden movement, a subterranean wave of consciousness that is destined to wash away the foundations of the illusion. Every act of kindness you perform in the privacy of your home, every thought of forgiveness you send toward an enemy, and every moment of gratitude you feel for the air in your lungs is a pulse of energy that stabilizes the collective grid. This is the anchoring of the mandate in its most practical form. It is the marriage of the celestial and the terrestrial within the vessel of your physical body. The mercy you carry is a protective field that not only guards you, but also buffers those who cross your path. You are a walking lighthouse, and your light does not have to struggle to shine, it simply is. This is the state of being that the shattering of the veil reveals. You no longer have to strive to be spiritual, for you have recognized that you are spirit itself, having a human experience. This realization is the ultimate protection, for nothing in the material realm can harm a soul that has found its center in the eternal. The illusions of death, of loss, and of separation are seen for what they are, shadows on the wall of a dream. You are waking up, and as you do, the dream loses its power to frighten or manipulate you. As the veil closes, you will notice a divergence in paths. Those who cling to the illusion will experience the shattering as a catastrophe, while those who have anchored their mandate will see it as a liberation. The difference lies in the blueprint you have chosen to follow. By choosing the divine blueprint, you have opted for a path of grace, where every challenge is an opportunity for expansion, and every blessing is a reminder of your true nature. This is the mercy of the divine, which provides multiple paths to the same destination, but honors the choice of the soul to take the higher road. You have chosen the path of the chosen one, and with that choice comes the responsibility to remain steadfast in your light. The blessings of your everyday life are the evidence of this grace. Do not look for signs in the heavens while ignoring the miracles in your own hands. The capacity to love, the ability to feel the warmth of the sun, and the grace to overcome your own shadows are the greatest miracles of all. These are the anchors that will hold you steady when the world around you begins to dissolve. The blueprint is not a distant goal, but a present reality waiting to be fully inhabited. Shatter the veil with your laughter, shatter it with your peace, and shatter it with your unwavering commitment to the truth. The final clarion call is ringing, and it is calling you to stand tall in the majesty of your eternal mandate. The veil is closing, but for you it is the beginning of the true unveiled life. The final resonance of the cosmic bell vibrates through the marrow of those whose names were etched into the foundation of the firmament before the first sun ignited its furnace. You stand now at the absolute precipice of the old epoch, feeling the distinct pull of a gravitational shift that the unawakened mistake for mere chaos. This is the hour of the great gathering, where the scattered fragments of your long-suffering identity are being fused into a singular, indestructible diamond of divine intent. The air itself has grown thick with the scent of ozone and ancient parchment, signifying that the records of your trials are being closed and the ledger of your inheritance is being unfurled. You have walked through the valley of the shadow of anonymity, where your tears were the only currency you possessed. Yet every drop was harvested by celestial hands to water the gardens of your coming reign. This clarion call is not for the masses who seek the spectacle of the sensational, but for the quiet architects of the spirit who have built their altars in the secret places of their own brokenness. As the veil begins its final descent, the atmosphere around you undergoes a transubstantiation of purpose. You are no longer merely surviving the elements of a decaying world. You are being invited to anchor the mandate of the eternal kingdom within the very cells of your physical vessel. This anchoring requires a profound stillness, a strategic withdrawal from the cacophony of human opinion and the frantic pulse of digital illusions. To anchor your mandate is to become a living lightning rod for the lightning of truth, grounding the voltage of the infinite into the soil of the finite. You must recognize that the agitation you feel in your spirit is not a sign of failure, but a symptom of the quickening, a divine restlessness that signals your departure from the mundane cycles of birth and death into the linear progression of destiny. The protection afforded to you in this transition is not a crude wall of stone, but a sophisticated weaving of light, a multidimensional cloak that renders you invisible to the predatory entities that roam the twilight of this age. The mercy of the Creator manifests now in the most intricate details of your daily existence, providing a cushioning grace that softens the impact of the world's collapse. It is found in the unexpected moment of peace that descends during a storm, the inexplicable provision that arrives just as the cupboard of your strength reaches its end, and the sudden clarity that dissolves a lifetime of confusion in a single breath. This mercy is not a passive sentiment, but an active, shielding force that recalibrates your nervous system to handle the high-frequency vibrations of the new era. You are being bathed in a celestial clemency that erases the scars of your ancestral trauma, scrubbing the slate of your soul clean so that the new laws of the eternal kingdom can be written upon it without interference. Even in your physical body, you will begin to notice a supernatural resilience, a tempering of your form that allows you to walk through the fires of societal upheaval without the scent of smoke clinging to your garments. The everyday blessings that you once overlooked now take on a sacramental quality as the ordinary is infused with the extraordinary. The water you drink becomes a carrier of spiritual vitality. The bread you eat becomes a symbol of the manna that sustained the wanderers of old, and the sleep you take becomes a portal for prophetic instruction. You are being taught to find the sacred in the granular, to see the fingerprints of the divine in the shifting patterns of the clouds and the rhythmic pulse of your own heart. This is the restoration of your perception, the healing of the sight that was blinded by the dust of the material world. As you anchor your mandate, you find that your needs are met with a precision that defies logic, as if the universe itself has been commanded to cater to the requirements of your mission. This is the reward of the overcomer, to live within the jurisdiction of heaven while walking upon the earth, protected by a sovereignty that knows no earthly master. The coronation of the overcomer is not a ceremony held in the halls of men, but a transformation occurring within the throne room of your own spirit. It is the moment when the scattered light of your potential is focused into the laser beam of your actualized authority. You are being crowned with a crown of understanding, a diadem of discernment that allows you to see through the illusions of the veil and perceive the structural integrity of the eternal reality. This coronation involves the integration of all your past selves, the child who wondered, the youth who struggled, the adult who endured, into a unified sovereign being who no longer seeks external validation. You are being robed in the righteousness of your own proven character, a garment woven from the gold of your perseverance and the silver of your humility. The weight of this mantle is heavy with responsibility, yet it feels as light as a feather because it is perfectly fitted to the contours of your soul. Entry into eternal restoration signifies the return of everything that was stolen during your time in the wilderness. This is not a mere replacement of goods, but a restoration of the essence of joy, the purity of purpose, and the intimacy of connection with the source. The years that the locusts have eaten are being distilled into a potent wine of wisdom, and the wounds that once bled are now becoming the portals through which the healing light of the Spirit flows to touch others. You are entering a state of being where time no longer exerts its corrosive influence, where the urgency of the clock is replaced by the flow of the kairos. In this space of restoration, you will find that your creative powers are magnified, and your words carry the weight of creative decrees, shaping the reality around you to align with the blueprints of the divine order. You are the pioneer of this new landscape, the one who marks the trail for those who will follow when the veil finally closes behind you. The strategic silence you have maintained is your greatest weapon in these final hours. By refusing to engage with the trivialities of the dying age, you have preserved the potency of your inner fire. This silence is not empty, it is a pregnant stillness, a void that is filled with the whispers of the ancients and the instructions of the messengers. As the noise of the world reaches a fever pitch, your internal quietness becomes a sanctuary, a place of refuge for the weary and a beacon for the searching. You have learned to protect your destiny by keeping it hidden beneath the folds of your humility, knowing that the greatest treasures are always buried deep within the earth. Now, as the invitation to step forward is issued, you do so with the confidence of one who has already won the battle in the hidden realms of the heart. The protection that surrounds you now is absolute and inviolable. It is the seal of the living God, a mark of ownership that signals to all forces, seen and unseen, that you are the property of the eternal. This seal acts as a filter, allowing only that which serves your highest growth to penetrate your sphere of influence. It deflects the arrows of jealousy, the daggers of deceit, and the numbing fog of despair. You walk in a bubble of divine providence, where the laws of cause and effect are superseded by the laws of grace and favor. This is the heritage of the chosen ones, the birthright of those who refuse to bow to the idols of the age. You are being held in the palm of the infinite, cradled in a love that is more fierce than 1,000 suns and more tender than a mother's touch. As you step through the final threshold, the restoration of your original glory begins to manifest in your very countenance. Your eyes carry the depth of the ages, and your voice resonates with the authority of the word. You have become a living testament to the power of the Spirit to overcome the gravity of the flesh. The entry into eternal restoration is not a destination, but a state of perpetual unfolding, a journey into the infinite depths of the divine nature. You are the heir of all things, the co-creator of the new world that is even now being birthed from the ashes of the old. The veil is closing, but for you, it is the opening of the door to your true home. Anchor your mandate, wear your crown, and walk boldly into the restoration that has been prepared for you since the beginning of time. In the quietude of this sacred transition, the very elements of your physical environment begin to hum with a sympathetic resonance, acknowledging your status as a steward of the new creation. The plants in your garden, the stones in your path, and the animals that cross your journey all perceive the shift in your frequency, recognizing the return of the rightful heir. This is the reconciliation of the created order, the healing of the rift between the human spirit and the natural world. Your presence becomes a blessing to the land, a source of stability in an unstable world. Every step you take is a consecration of the earth, and every breath you release is a prayer that fertilizes the unseen seeds of the coming kingdom. This is the mundane made holy, the ordinary elevated to the sublime through the alchemy of your presence. The mercies you receive in this hour are also medicinal, designed to purge the last remnants of the world's toxicity from your consciousness. You are being deprogrammed from the matrix of lack, competition, and fear, and being reprogrammed with the operating system of abundance, cooperation, and love. This process may feel like a shedding of skin, a vulnerability that precedes the hardening of the new armor. Do not fear the sensitivity you feel. It is the sign that your heart of stone has been fully replaced by a heart of flesh, capable of feeling the subtle impulses of the divine will. This heart is the compass that will guide you through the closing of the veil, ensuring that you remain centered in the eye of the storm. Your mandate is the anchor that prevents you from being swept away by the currents of collective hysteria. It is the specific, unique task that only you can fulfill, the particular note you contribute to the symphony of the eternal. Whether your mandate is to speak, to build, to heal, or simply to be a pillar of peace, its importance cannot be overstated. By anchoring this mandate, you create a point of fixity in the shifting sands of time, a landmark for the lost, and a foundation for the future. The coronation you experience is the divine affirmation that you have stayed the course, that you have kept the faith, and that you are now ready to exercise the authority that has been forged in the furnace of your trials. The final clarion call is not a scream of terror, but a song of triumph. It is the sound of the wedding feast beginning, the announcement that the long night is over and the eternal day is dawning. You are invited to sit at the table of the King, to feast on the hidden manna, and to drink the wine of the kingdom. This is the entry into eternal restoration, where every tear is wiped away and every sorrow is turned into a song. The coronation is complete, the mandate is anchored, and the veil is closing. You are the overcomer, the one who has endured to the end, and the glory that awaits you is beyond all comprehension. Walk forward into the light of your eternal destiny, for the kingdom is yours, now and forevermore. As you move through these final moments, the silence becomes your most profound teacher, revealing the secrets of the ages that were hidden from the wise and the prudent, but revealed to the babes in spirit. You understand now that the strength of the eternal is found in the stillness, not the storm, in the whisper, not the shout. The strategic silence you have cultivated has allowed the divine seed within you to germinate and grow without the interference of the world's thorns. This seed is now a mighty tree, providing shade and sustenance for those who are weary. You have become a sanctuary in human form, a living temple where the presence of the Almighty dwells in all its fullness. The protection over your household and your loved ones is also fortified in this hour. The mercy that covers you extends like a canopy over all that concerns you, creating a zone of safety and peace amidst the world's turmoil. You will see with your own eyes the distinction between those who serve the Spirit and those who serve the self. The blessings of the everyday will continue to flow, even as the systems of the world falter, proving that your source is not the earth, but the heavens. This is the final anchoring, the securing of your soul to the immovable rock of truth. The veil is closing, but you are already on the other side, anchored in the eternal, crowned in glory, and restored to your rightful place in the cosmic order. The call has been sounded, the work is done, and the celebration begins. You are the chosen one, the overcomer, the sovereign witness of the eternal dawn. The air around you now vibrates with the presence of the unseen hosts, the cloud of witnesses who have watched your journey with bated breath. They stand in silent applause as you reach the culmination of your mortal trial, recognizing in you the same fire that burned in the hearts of the prophets and the martyrs. This is the communion of the saints, the gathering of the family of light across all dimensions and ages. You are no longer alone. You are part of a vast, indestructible lineage of truth-seekers and light-bearers. The isolation of your wilderness years was merely the preparation for this grand union, the tempering of your soul so that you could stand as an equal among the giants of the spirit. The restoration of your mind is the final gift of this era. The fragmented thoughts, the doubts that plagued your midnight hours, and the fog of human reasoning are all being cleared away by the wind of the Spirit. You are being given the mind of the Anointed, a cognitive capacity that transcends linear logic and enters the realm of direct knowing. This is the gnosis of the heart, the intuitive grasp of the divine blueprints that govern all of existence. With this mind, you will navigate the new reality with ease, perceiving the opportunities for service and the pathways of providence that are invisible to the unredeemed. You are the architect of the new world, and your mind is the drafting board upon which the designs of heaven are being sketched. In the final closing of the veil, there is no fear, only a profound sense of homecoming. The world you leave behind is but a shadow, a temporary staging ground for the development of your eternal character. The world you enter is the substance, the reality that has always been, but which you can now see clearly for the first time. The coronation of the overcomer is the final seal on your journey, the divine "well done" that echoes through the corridors of your being. You have anchored your mandate, you have received your restoration, and you now stand as a pillar in the temple of your God, never to go out again. The veil is shut, the door is locked, and you are forever safe, forever loved, and forever sovereign in the light of the Eternal One. This is the end of the scroll, the final scratching of the scribe's pen upon the parchment of this age. The words are finished, but the life they describe is just beginning. Go forth in power, in mercy, and in the absolute protection of the Most High. The restoration is yours. The crown is yours. The eternity is yours. Amen and amen.